Joining us now is Space Angel CEO Chad Anderson. Chad, always great to see you.
Thank you. Likewise.
Okay, well, this was like super hyped up.
Yeah.
What was the biggest surprise, the biggest announcement you felt from yesterday?
It was really talking about his vision for taking millions of people off Earth and working and living in space, zoning the Earth as residential, as he calls it. So he covered a few different points. It goes from his new Shepherd vehicle, which is suborbital travel, confirmed that he's going to take people later this year, which is pretty exciting because that'll be the first time that that's happened. And then his new Glenn, his larger rocket that he's talking about taking satellites to orbit and then eventually people, and then this lunar lander. So the one that he unveiled yesterday was to deliver cargo, but he could also deliver humans to help NASA get humans back on the moon by 2024.
For anyone paying close attention to this, space colonies near Earth as a way of expanding humanity, how should we even be thinking about this? Is this realistic or is it science fiction?
So it's science fiction until it's science fact. We see it play out that way quite a bit. We have over the years. This has been, Jerry O'Neill, he put forward this idea decades ago. And Bezos was, a big fan of his work and has promoted this a number of times in his speeches and things. So this is really where you see the divergence, where you see Bezos kind of slight the idea of going to Mars and how that's not a great idea, and his idea is instead to build these colonies in space, these manufactured colonies in space. And he's talking about how the moon is going to enable him to get there. So first launching and landing on the moon, using its resources there to enable these types of colonies. So,
I mean, if he goes to Epcot Center, you can see it already happening, right? The idea of these space colonies. Speaking of, others in the space, very much pun intended, there was somebody who couldn't quite keep his mouth shut yesterday and wanting some attention as well. What was Elon Musk up to?
We see a lot of jabs between these two. Again, the Jeff Bezos' speech really, talked about Mars and said that's not a great idea. I don't like the idea of there being a plan B for Earth, which Musk has said that, in a case of a catastrophic event, it'd be nice if we had a place to go. So he's really focused on getting to Mars. I think some friendly banter, some fun banter for lots of us to follow on Twitter, but I think that the media event was really hyped up, and it was
It's super secretive. I mean, it wasn't live streamed. Like they were really locked down. What is Jeff Bezos' approach in terms of his media strategy versus an Elon Musk's approach?
Well, his secrecy certainly got everyone there and interested. Teasing the idea that we're going back to the South Pole of the moon is a big draw, and it's a big push right now all the way from the White House down to industry. NASA's working really hard on this, so that's a big deal. Bezos doesn't normally talk about things until after he's done them, and he said as much many times. This was a unique case in where he was saying, we've been working on this undercover for a few years, and it's something that can serve NASA's needs now. So that's a very much different approach than what we've seen Bezos do in the past and what we've seen Musk do, which is really to talk about what he's doing to build public awareness, get people excited, and get investors excited about the prospects.
Yeah. When space billionaires brawl, or you get blue balls, I suppose. Last month, SpaceX Crew Dragon, their capsule exploded during a high-stakes test as well, we know. Who has kind of the advantage in the space race?
So both are doing big things. I think Blue Origin has quite a lot to prove still, right? So they've launched their new Shepherd vehicle a few times, but as Musk said on Twitter before, is that space is easy, orbit is hard. So getting to suborbital space is much different than getting to orbit. Blue Origin still hasn't gotten to orbit. They also, so they have a lot of steps to do. Later this year, they're talking about taking people to the edge of space, but then they need to reach orbit without crew. Then they need to reach orbit with crew, and only then are they going to be able to deliver on this moon promise, right? So some of this is warranted banter, I think.